Jojo Diaz versus Javier Fortuna coming up tomorrow night on DAZN. Love this fight. Love this fight at 135. The reason I do, one of the many reasons I do, is because you don't get too many fights in boxing today that are close to 50-50 as far as the odds. Jojo Diaz is a slight favorite coming into this fight. So if you like Jojo Diaz, then you have value for your money right there going into this fight. Same thing with Fortuna, a live dog, close to the betting favorite. He's a slight underdog. So if you like Fortuna, there's your value there as well. I'm going to talk about who I favor in this fight. I think Vegas has this right as far as putting Jojo Diaz as a slight favorite. I'll give my reasons in a minute, but love the fight. Love the fight. I'm interested in seeing how Jojo Diaz looks at 135. I was looking at him at the weigh-in today, and he looks strong, man. He looks fresh at 135. He really struggled in his last fight against Rakhimov. Draw, could have went either way. He actually could have lost that fight, but he looked weight drained. He looked bad. I think he missed weight, just looked dry and looked off in the fight. He just looked off. He just looked like he had no energy, just completely weight drained, and he's a guy who can't make 130 anymore. So I'm intrigued to see how he looks at 135. Can he add energy to this division? Because 135 is a strong division, especially at the top. It's a deep division. But the guys at the top just aren't mixing it up with each other. So you hope a guy like Jojo Diaz can come in and bring some energy, some much needed energy to this division. Call some guys out, win impressively, call some guys out, and add some energy to this division. Because he's a guy who is his only loss is to Gary Russell Jr. at this point. It's his only loss so far in his career, 31-1-1, 15 KOs. So that's what you worry about as far as him moving up to 135 pounds is the KO percentage isn't that high. It's right around 50%. So he didn't have much power at 130. So you don't expect him to carry much power into 135, especially fighting elite opposition at 135. So that is one red flag there for Jojo Diaz, but I like him as far as technical ability. This guy has a lot of technical ability, has a lot of heart. He'll let his hands go. He's a fun fighter. A lot to like with Jojo Diaz. Same thing with Fortuna. Fortuna's a guy, 36-2-1, but 25 KOs, man. This guy has pop. He has pop in both hands. He's a guy also that will mix it up and trade, especially on the inside. So he has a slight reach advantage in this fight. Not a slight. I mean, he has a 4.5-inch reach advantage in this fight. They're about the same height, but Fortuna has the reach advantage. He also has the advantage in power. But I think Jojo Diaz has the advantage as far as technical skill. I think he's the better of the two technically. And if he can make it into that sort of fight where he's letting his hands go, using lateral movement, boxing Fortuna, while trading and scoring points, this can be a Jojo Diaz fight. I think it's going 12 rounds. I don't think Fortuna is going to knock out Jojo Diaz. I think Diaz's chin is good. I think it'll hold up. And I think Diaz will be more active in the ring, win these rounds, score more points with his activity, and win this fight on the scorecards. I like Jojo Diaz to win this fight. Going 12. I don't think there's going to be a knockout either way, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun fight. I think there'll be a lot of action, a lot of trading back and forth. But I'm just more intrigued on how will Diaz look at 135? How will he translate to 135? And for Fortuna, he was a guy who should have had Ryan Garcia in this fight. I mean, let's be honest. Ryan Garcia pulled out of the fight, mental health issues, whether that's legit or not. This should have been Ryan Garcia versus Fortuna this weekend. Instead, we get Jojo Diaz versus Fortuna, which is a good consolation prize, even matchup. Garcia would have been a heavier favorite had that fight come through. But I like this fight. Diaz didn't look good in his last fight, but I think that had a lot to do with weight. I think he's going to look fresh at 135. He's going to look good. He's going to look better moving up in weight, in my opinion. But you have to worry about, will he have the power to keep guys honest, elite fighters at 135 honest? That's one of the things to look out for as far as Diaz. But this is the first fight on his 135 journey. Will Fortuna put a halt to it right off the bat? Because Fortuna is a good fighter. Good fighter, man. Tough fighter. Has pop. He hasn't lost since 2018 to Robert Easter Jr. in their fight. Has won since then, but hasn't been that active since then. So you worry about ring rust as well with Fortuna. So a lot to look forward to in this fight. A lot of intrigue, a lot of question marks that are going to get answered tomorrow night. But I'd like Diaz to win this fight on decision. Somewhere, maybe 7-5. Close fight, 8-4, something like that. But I think he's going to pull it out. Be the more active fighter, win on activity, and it's going to be a fun fight. Let me know what y'all think about this fight, man. Your prediction. God bless. Peace.